Today we're gonna take a concept which is I would call the marker company, and I'm gonna explain why I said this. So as we are saying, it's about plotting, so let's make our x-axis in the beginning. So let's make the x-axis from negative pi colon pi over 10 colon pi. We should now be very familiar with what this means, but I'm gonna explain real quick. So negative pi means the start, pi over 10, which is approximately gonna be like 0.34. This is the step. And finally, pi is the end. So again, for everyone who don't know, we're gonna start with negative pi, we're gonna end with pi. Pi over 10 or 0.34, this is the step. It means like we're gonna go from negative pi to pi with the points that the points or the value will increase by 0.34 every single time. So it's gonna increase by 0.34 until it reaches to pi. And this is our x-axis. Good to go? Sweet. So let's make the y-axis to be tan sine x minus sine tan x. This is very interesting. This is just element-wise operation. And we did explain this in the first episode. Please make sure you already saw it. And it's just like this code or this line is just for how we're gonna see our plot, because our plot will be kind of interesting. So let's call this like figure maybe 1. Let's see, plot as usual, x, y. So x, y, and then like MATLAB expect us to now like starting with the line style or the color, marker symbol or marker size. So like it's always plotting x-axis, y-axis, and then the more specification of how our plot would be. So right now let's make it like underscore underscore, and this is just like we are cutting the way. Instead of writing line style and then underscore underscore, we're just gonna write it right away. And then gs, we're gonna explain it as we go. But now let's try dot dot dot. Okay, this some are new things. So under the double underscore, it just means line style. Okay, G is green, and S is the square. What this means? So S, I said what we are gonna explain marker company, right? Because S is our CEO, and CEO have 3 employers. Let's first, like we have 2 underscore, so we have line style. So, and those 3 dots means I'm gonna continue on the same code or on the same line, but I'm gonna use different line. It just as like to be continued. I'm telling MATLAB this line will be continue, but in the next line. So these 3 dots, when it's are blue, then I'm good to go, and I can write the next line as a continue for the first line. So let's do this. Now let's write like line width. So line width, then 2. Let's do the same thing. Now I'm also good to go. I can Write the next line. Okay, the first employer, marker size. Let's see, something like 10. Okay, comma, also same thing. Next employer, marker age, color. Let's make this blue, which is B. Also, comma, 3 dots. Marker, face, color. Then let's open brackets. Let's try 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And then let's close it. Let's see what we can get after all of this. There is a lot to explain, but we got error. So let's see why. Error in the third line. Line number 9. We expect the error from here. Maybe we did, yes. So this is very good to know, because like this not line style. So if we press here, if we press line, style, and then I press comma, you're gonna give me other options, but he do expect to be not underscore, but this one. Now if we press run, here we go. The graph returns back. So here it doesn't always appear the recommendation, because we are writing in this way, the 3 dots. But how I would know whether I'm on the right track, whether I'm not, whether like this is G means the green or S means the square. I already like showed this in the last episode, but let's make sure we are following this. So help plotting, and this how I can ask for help. Let's see the documentation. And by the way, all the content I always like do prepare, it will come from MATLAB help, because for many college students, when they are taking their exams, they are able to use MATLAB help. So if you are preparing from MATLAB help, your resource is what you are studying from, which is very powerful from here. Okay, so this is the marker, and this is CEO of any company. So when we are saying marker size, marker edge color, marker face color, any of these elements must exist in our code in order to use any of these functions. So anything related to marker, I have to choose any of this. So we use S, which is square, and this is what we get in MATLAB. Square, right? Because just we used S. We can use O, like MATLAB help give us O, like if we want to use this, we can. And instead, it's gonna be circular. So MATLAB Help Center, and I mentioned last video that we have to pick like 3 favorites. This is the marker. This is the line style. It's very good that I write underscore, but in fact it should be just this dashed line, because this is how like line style. So if I do have an error in anything, I can go and check back. But we already covered line style, so I don't want to spend too much time, but I want to cover the marker today. So as I said, if we saw any of this element, this is gonna be the CEO. And returning back, any CEO has employer. The first employer, marker size. The marker size is the size of the circle, which now is the O. So he's just responsible for increasing or decreasing the size of the circle. So right now, if I press 20 and I run it, we have this, the circle increasing a lot. Okay, so, or I can make it 5. Now it's decreasing a lot. So marker size, the first employer is just responsible for the size of my marker, regardless what symbol I'm gonna choose. Marker age color, okay, is very powerful. That MATLAB, any function from MATLAB is derived from explaining what the function do. Marker age color. So it's the color of the age of our marker, the color of our CO. So the edges of the squares, this is the color of the edge of the square. So right now it's blue, but if I press like G, and as I mentioned, MATLAB help, now it's green. But if I press blue, it gonna turn back to the blue. Okay. Marker face color. This is very interesting because marker face color, it means what's the color of the inside, what's the colors that gonna fill out my circle or my square. So right now it's gray. From where the gray came from, or what this means, like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay guys, now it's time for starting an art session, because this is literally an art session. 0.5 is something called RGB triplet. This powerful function in MATLAB, and I can use it whenever in any context in my codes related to colors, whether I'm coding for plotting, graphs, anything related to colors, I can use RGB triplet. Okay, what this means also. So okay, just like brackets, okay, 3 numbers. Basically RGB is abbreviated for red, green, blue. And it's RT class because it just mean like 0.5, okay, of red plus 0.5 of green plus 0.5 of blue give me gray. And this is how MATLAB calculates them. We don't have, if we went to the search documentation for plotting, we won't see gray. So I can just create my own custom color using the mixing of those 3 colors, red, green, and blue, and here how I can do them. So let's try different colors, like let's try 0.2, 0.6 blue, and let's increase the my bad, 0.6 green, and let's increase the blue by 0.8. So 0.2 red, 0.6 green, 0.8 blue. Let's see what color we get. It's like a sky blue. Okay, let's try a different thing, like what if we 0.9 red, 0.4, 0.1. I want you guys to imagine like you have actually like colors and you are start mixing them with this portion. Actually you're gonna have this color eventually with just those 3 colors. And whoever like very good in drawing and he used like growing up drawing or something, he gonna understand this. Like if you don't have the color, you can like mixing this up and you're gonna have this color. So let's see what we can get here. It's orange. So it's good to know, like also taking notes of this, because this mixes like give you those specific colors. Let's try the last one, maybe 0.1, 0.7, 0.3. It's green. So yeah, it's very powerful. It's called RGB template, and this is how it goes. So it's very good to know. And also like recap very quick, as we said, markers, I cannot use marker without having my CEO. So if I don't have O, I'm gonna have nothing of this makes any different for me just by removing the O, which is our CEO. By the presence of the CEO, all the employers gonna work, gonna have a work and gonna have a job and actually gonna make an impact. If I remove the CEO, all my employers will be undeployed, having no job, just the plot. No error, but also no meaning. So that's why I'm gonna like explain the marker company, and this is how you can like remember it. So any marker, you have to check that you have any marker symbols that we saw in the help documentation. Okay, so let's return maybe to square, and let's return this to gray and move on. Maybe orange? No, it's gray, it's fine. Okay.